ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your first championship final of the evening, the women's 400 individual medley. Introducing your finalists, swimming in lane 1, silver medalist in the 200 individual medley of the 2015 World University Games from the University of Texas, Madison Cox. In lane 2, a silver medalist in the 200 butterfly in the 2015 World Championships from Swim Mat, Carolina, Camille Adams. In lane 3, silver medalist in the 400 individual medley of the 2012 Olympic Games from the Bluefish Swim Club, Elizabeth Beisel.
She's won everything else. Katinka Hosszu, the fastest time in the world last year. Meantime, American Elizabeth Beisel, 2012 Olympic trials, was the top qualifier for the Americans on her way to London.
Yeah, won the silver there, world champion back in 2011. And when she was at her best, she was really good in the middle of her race. And that's where she's got to get back into it. A little off summer last year, did not swim especially well. In fact, she was ranked 11th in the world, and she did that way back a year ago at this meet. So she's got a lot to prove this year, and I think she can do that.
Beisel, a graduate at the University of Florida. Katinka Hosszu swam for USC. Hosszu is 26, Beisel 23, so veterans.
Can do it all. Hosszu, I mean, what an incredible double she's got tonight. She's got to swim this 400 IM and then get right back in it a little bit later on and swim the 200 backstroke, where she will also be the top qualifier.
Yeah, it's interesting because the prelims concluded just about 5 hours ago, and the last event was the IM, and now it's the first event in the Hosszu in 4. So 8 laps, 2 each discipline, and we'll start with fly.
Well, the great thing about Katinka, and the one reason why you just love to watch her, is because she just doesn't have a weakness. And every stroke, she just is so strong at it and just pounds away. Butterfly is her best stroke, arguably, although some people might say backstroke, but certainly butterfly and backstroke, 2 very good strokes for her. And then even on her weakness is breaststroke. It just is not glaring. Her freestyle is so dominant that even if she falls back a little bit on the breaststroke, she can come back and put a great performance in the freestyle.
Good first 50 down in lane 8 by the American Caitlin Leverance, the U.S. Olympian, bronze in the 200 IM. She was 6th in this event in London, off to a pretty good start. There she is in the yellow cap.
Leverance at the bottom, as you mentioned, Jim. And you know, you got a couple Americans in here that really will vie to make this Olympic team. In fact, I think you've got 3 of the 4 best Americans in this final. The only one that's missing is Maya Dorado, the silver medalist from last summer. Otherwise, you've got some really good swimmers in this race. Beisel and Caitlin Leverance, as you mentioned, an Olympian, and of course Becca Mann, who was ranked in the top 10 in the world last year. So again, Maya Dorado swimming the 200 backstroke a little later on. She decided to drop this event, at least for tonight.
You saw Camille Adams was in second after the fly leg, and that's because she was an Olympian in the 200 fly, and swimming in semi-home waters, a Texas A&M graduate here at UT.
Camille Adams also a potential candidate to make the team. Concentrating a little bit more on butterfly the last 4 years, but she was 3rd at the Olympic trials 4 years ago. And there's that beautiful backstroke of Katinka Hosszu. Great tempo, and the high tempo that she has on a 400 IM is extraordinary. You usually see that kind of tempo maybe on the back half of a 200 backstroke, or even a back half of a 100 backstroke, but because of that great high tempo, she's able to extend that lead now, and she's got a full body length over Becca Mann right underneath her in lane number 5.
Katinka Hosszu, 3-time Olympian, 5-time world champion, and a 2-time Euro champion to boot. 2012 Olympics, 4th, 400 IM.
A lot of pressure on her shoulders this year, and she will have more pressure, I think, than any swimmer in the in the Rio Games, only because she has not succeeded at that Olympic level. Certainly a lot of pressure on Missy and Katie Ledecky, Michael Phelps, Lochte, but they've all won gold. They have nothing to prove if they don't happen to win the gold medal or even a medal. Katinka Hosu, on the other hand, is on the coup. I don't see any way that she, at this point, at this moment, we're still 200 days away, but I just can't see her losing the 200 or the 400 IM. That's how strong she is right now. She was completely dominant, especially in the 200 IM when she broke the world record last summer, and she won the 400 IM last year at the World Championships as well, about a second over Maya Garabi.
Katinka Hosu continues to control this race from the front. Becca Mann, the 18-year-old American in lane 5, had moved up to join the chase pack. Beisel still in there in lane 3. There's 4 across now, and they're all chasing Hosu.
And this is where you would see some room made up on a weak stroke by Hosu, but she actually extended her lead over the field. Becca Mann fell off a little bit. Becca Mann's weakness is breaststroke. She'll come back and have a good freestyle, but you're right. I mean, that's a heck of a weakness to have to actually extend the lead on a race.
Hosu, you know, she's renowned for swimming multiple events in a short span of time. And she's very strong. She had a monster program at the World Championships. 7 events. Is it too much? How do you know when it's too much?
I thought it was too much in Kazan at the Worlds. I think she fell off at the end of the meet, and she struggled on a couple of races. And I think that taxing program, she's going to have to decide. If I'm Katinka Hosu, I go in there and swim the 200, 400 IM and maybe pick one more event. Swim 3 events and try to make sure you're really fresh for all 3.
Katinka Hosu went 4:37.50 in the prelims this morning, but she was holding back. Comes under the flags for the last time and hits the wall, 4:36.27, so about a second faster than she was in the morning swim.
Very good swim for Becca Mann, though, who got second in 4:39 flat. Hosu obviously dominating, 3-second victory there, but about 6 seconds off her best time. Becca Mann was only 2 seconds off of her best time, and she went and had a great last 100 freestyle. But Katinka Hosu, the queen of the IMs, look at the halfway point. Not that big of a lead, right, Jim? Body length maybe of Becca Mann?
But then coming off the wall.
But she has great turns. She was always a good short course swimmer. She's the fastest 200-yard IMer in history. There's that breaststroke, that weakness that she has. Certainly great extension out front, driving forward all the time. You don't see that fatigue that she might have set in breaststroke. But here she is in the freestyle. And again, the favorite for gold in Rio.
You know, that's not really the headline. I think we expected Katinka Hosu to win this, but how about Becca Mann, the 18-year-old, getting up there? That's a great swim for her because she moved up gradually and then held her spot. Sarah Henry goes third. Camille Adams, we saw her in second after the first leg, and she ends up holding on for 4th place. But Katinka Hosu starts her program off with a bang. She goes wire to wire. Katinka Hosu wins the women's 400 IM in